This is a 2015 MacBook Air. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM and a 256 gigabyte proprietary SSD. Now these things are getting old. They're 10 years old now. You know, I like them old. Just ask your mom. But when it comes to tech, it ages like dog. What? Tech ages in dog years. The last supported operating system for this computer was Monterey, which was in 2021. Generally, operating systems are supported for 5 to 7 years, according to Apple. Apple officially supports it. Thankfully, we have something called OpenCore Legacy Patcher. So these computers are super cheap now. You can buy this thing for like 50 bucks on eBay. My neighbor actually gave me this one. Once everybody knows you're a tech guy, they either ask you to fix something or they give you old pieces of tech. It's a double-edged sword. Thank you, neighbor. You know who you are. So why is this here? Why is this in my hands right now? It's because I'm going to upgrade this thing. I'm not going to keep it. I don't want this. But I want to keep it out of the garbage bin. Like I said, these things are super cheap. Now, why would you want to upgrade it? Well, these are one of the easiest ways and cheapest ways to enter the Apple ecosystem, which, as much as I despise Apple's business practices, the Apple ecosystem is very good. It used to be a high bar of entry where it required, $2,000 devices that were overpriced with less features than Android or Linux. But now, since the hardware has been out for so long, the ecosystem it's opening up. I'm not judging. I do not judge. This is not a judgmental video. I am merely telling you what I've experienced in my 10 years of a repair shop. A lot of people use these, and a lot of people end up in that rut where their application, their operating system is no longer supported. They haven't updated it for whatever reason. A lot of elderly people, they don't do software updates. A lot of elderly people do not do software updates. So they'll come into the shop, they'll be running a Safari from, High Sierra or something like that, and a website won't work for them, like a website that they need to pay bills or something like that. Safari doesn't work anymore. So they come into the shop and they wonder why, and then I have to hit them with, "Welp, you haven't updated in so long, now I have to do a bunch of incremental updates and you don't have enough storage space on your drive, and now it's so expensive. It's so expensive." Those days are gone. I'm not doing that anymore. But I want to show you how you can upgrade one of these things. If you can get one for really cheap, they're decent machines for basic use. What I'm going to be doing specifically, I'm going to be replacing the proprietary Apple SSD with an NVMe that has a $10 adapter on it. Yeah, so this is a 500 gigabyte NVMe. $10 adapter. That drive costs like 20 bucks, something like that. It might have been 40 bucks, I might be lying. I'm also going to be modifying the cooling system on this thing. Whether it's going to be for the better or worse, I don't know, but I'm excited to try. Now, as you guys see on my 2012 MacBook Pro, I drilled holes in the bottom of my case, right where the fan is. And I did that to make it run cooler, because heat is not kind to these older machines. I've dealt with a lot of MacBook Airs that have cooked themselves to death, usually because somebody used it on a blanket or a pillow for some reason. Now I'm gonna start with the fun part. I'm gonna modify the cooling system. I already took out the screws, because I like to save time. This is the bottom panel. Now once you come in yonder, so this is the cooling system of the MacBook Air. This one's actually pretty clean. I haven't even cleaned this out yet, so my neighbor is very clean. Shout out to my neighbor. I only associate myself with clean people. Tiny heatsink, very small heatsink. It's a i5 5250U or something like that. It gets pretty hot. These usually throttle around 100 degrees Celsius. That's the proprietary SSD. So for the cooling modification, what I'm going to do, you can actually see how it's cooled through the dust. I don't know if the light can pick that up. But these are the intakes right here. The air comes in through here, comes over the board, and then right into the fan, which is right here. So this is backwards, obviously, because it goes like this. So all the dust collects right here, and it gets blown out through the exhaust right here, right onto that hinge. Fantastic design. What I'm gonna do, just like I did with my MacBook, my 2012 MacBook, I'm gonna put some little holes right here, just to introduce some colder air to cool the heatsink. Because that's an issue with these, where it's just taking hot air. All this air that's coming over here, it starts off cold and then it just heats up, so by the time it gets to the fan and gets to the heatsink grills, it's hot. Do I know better than the Apple engineers? Absolutely not. I don't know anything. I'm just curious if it's actually going to work. Now, these are the temps before, when I was running a CPU stress test, and I'm curious to see what the temps are after. I'm not going to change the paste right now. I'm going to drill the holes in there before I change the paste. And I'm going to drill these holes using the Fanttik F2 Master.
Because this is hands down the best cordless rotary toolkit I've ever used. Being the size of a pen and weighing less than 1/4 of a pound, it's perfect for my tiny raccoon-like hands to handle no matter the project. But being small doesn't mean it's weak. With a max speed of 25,000 RPM and 5 speed settings, this baby makes quick work of the aluminum panel on a MacBook without blowing your eardrums out. At only 32 decibels, you can have a conversation while this puppy spins away. And you don't have to worry about dust or water, because it's waterproof and dustproof, which comes in key during jobs like this. And there are 35 different accessories in the kit that let you take full advantage of the tool, from grinding, polishing, drilling, and more. These bits are stored in a rotating stand and are magnetic, so you don't have to worry about them falling out or breaking a nail trying to pry one. And the bits are just as sturdy as the tool. No more dealing with flimsy dollar store junk. So if you want to do the same mod to your MacBook, or want to be able to tackle any other project that requires a cordless rotary tool, check out the link below and use code SALEMF2M to get 38% off. That deal is just as insane as this pattern. So shout out to Fanttik for making such a sick tool.
Well, let's see how my poor attempt of recreating the Wu-Tang symbol and then giving up and trying to salvage it is going to work. It's right over the fan. I didn't want to do too many because I do still want it to take air from over here. It's more of an experiment than anything. I like to experiment with things. Just ask your mother. Got him! They keep coming. Like your mother. Not a huge difference, but one that's going to prevent the computer from throttling if it's under heavy loads. Like your mom. Now that we've done that upgrade, it's time to upgrade that storage. Now the original SSD is a proprietary SSD. You can see what the speeds are right here. The speeds aren't very good. I'm gonna install this NVMe. So I used Carbon Copy Cloner. That's a program you can get in the description below. It's a free program, free trial to clone this SSD to this NVMe. This NVMe has an adapter, $10 adapter you can get on Amazon. This is just a crucial 500 gigabyte NVMe. And I did it using an NVMe to USB adapter, which is also like 10 bucks on Amazon, link below, and it's also in my Amazon store. I'm not going to show you how to do it. It's super straightforward. Just Carbon Copy Cloner, download the program, make sure to enable legacy bootable device. Super easy. I've already done that to save time. Now let's see. This is the old SSD. This is the new SSD. We're going to unplug the battery and we're going to replace the SSD. And while we're doing that, we're also going to replace the paste. Paste takes no time at all, which is great. Old SSD comes right out. Bada bing, bada boom. Now this NVMe adapter, your computer, the firmware has to be newer than Mojave or else it won't recognize the NVMe adapter. While we're here, I'm just gonna replace the thermal paste, might as well. It's super simple on the MacBook Air. There's 4 screws, heatsink comes right out. There's a hidden screw right here. This is a little bastard screw. See that guy? You have to just move the Wi-Fi cable. You don't actually have to take the Wi-Fi cable out. You can kind of rig it up like I do because I'm lazy. And then you can move the heatsink out of the way just enough to clean it. Just like that. There we go. And look at that. Look how tiny that heatsink is. And that thermal paste is old as balls. So we're definitely gonna have to clean that out. Little Gucci, neighbor Gooch. Nothing crazy. I've seen much worse. A beautiful polished heatsink. That's actually a very nice heatsink. And CPU. Now if you noticed before, there was no thermal paste on that. That is the PCH. I'm not gonna put any thermal paste on there either. So I'm just gonna put just a dab of AMEC SGT4. That's a little more than a dab. Oh well, yell at me, I don't care. And now I'm gonna just slide this back in. It's especially important to replace the paste if you're gonna upgrade to one of the newer operating systems. It's always good practice. So we're gonna make sure to connect the battery.
The greatest technician that's ever lived.
And I replaced the SSD, so that means I'm gonna reset the PRAM. Press that power button, Alt Command, PR baby, listen for that beautiful. And then, and there we go. And once we get into the operating system, here are the speeds of the new SSD, and you can compare those with the old SSD. It's not a huge improvement, but it's an improvement. And any improvement on a machine this old is good, especially if you're gonna use a newer operating system on it. And this is Mr. Mackie Mac. Sophisticated password here at Salem Techsperts. This is what we're working with. 1.6 gigahertz, dual core, Intel i5, 4 gigs of RAM, and it's in early 2015. Our storage now is recognized. It's 500 gigabytes. So after the thermal paste, temps are in the 70s under full load. Look at that, huh? So that's nice. Shout out to TG Pro by the way. That's the software I'm using to monitor the temps. If you do have an older Mac and you want to control the temps, maybe increase the fan speed to help them help the temps get a little lower, TG Pro is worth every dollar. It's $10. So I'm downloading OpenCore Legacy Patcher, which I just told you about, and it is ready to go. I already made a Sonoma installer. I'm not doing Sequoia yet. I just didn't feel like it. I want to do Sonoma for now. All right, this is the magic. So we're going to build and install OpenCore. We already created the macOS installer. So we're gonna go here. It's gonna configure our system, and then we are going to install to disk. And I wanna give it all the access it needs. It can access anything it wants. And the disk I wanted to install to, obviously, is the internal, and we're ready to reboot. Now you may wonder, why am I wasting my time on a Mac, on an Apple? Well, the reality is a lot of people are enrolled in the Apple ecosystem. A lot of my customers personally were enrolled in the Apple ecosystem. I'm hoping this video at least gives somebody out there, at least one person out there, the idea and the motivation to try all this themselves and to maybe rescue an old MacBook Air that somebody gave them, or that they just came across like in a recycling center or something like that. Because the more modern technology that we can put in people's hands that can't afford it, the better the world will be. Flood the world with cheap technology that is functional. That is my goal. And I'm one step closer now that I have rebooted. We're on this beautiful screen. We want to go into EFI boot. Now we got to the screen by holding Option when we were rebooting. Boom skis. We are here in the Sonoma installer. And I am going to install macOS Sonoma. Now there's nothing crazy here. I'm just going to go through the install process as I normally would. Now it's getting very late here. So what I'm going to do, remember those Velcro strips I told you guys about? This is still installing. So what I'm gonna do is take this SSD. Now we have external storage. That way, we can continue to install macOS Sonoma while I drive home after picking up pizza. About 29 minutes remaining. 28 minutes now. We gotta get home quick. I'm holding it like a pizza. See you, man. It's still there. Still there. Let's hope my $700 Porsche starts. I'm not strapping them in, I'm a bad father. Now will it start? We made it. Halfway through the drive, the battery died. But it ended up completing itself once I plugged it back in, so I guess the battery on this, even though it says it's good, isn't so good. I just opened it up, and here we are. Let's see. And it is definitely not Wednesday, July 2nd. It is, but it's 9:48, so I have to fix the clock too. It's getting late, getting real late. We're busy people here, busy people. A lot of business happening over here at Salem Techsperts. We're in. I have a desktop. Let me go to About This Mac. There we have it. We have Sonoma 14.76 on our early 2015 MacBook Air. That means I just extended the life of this machine at least 5 years more than it would have when Apple decided they weren't going to support it anymore. So some features won't work. Apple Intelligence, notably, is a feature that doesn't work, which is a huge plus in my opinion. There's a list of all things, all the bugs, but for the most part, for everyday use, this is a very stable operating system to run, if you need to run it. If not, you can just rock the current OS for as long as you want. Most importantly, for somebody who actually wants to be in the Apple ecosystem, iMessage works, Photos work, iCloud works, all that stuff works. I'm guessing Apple doesn't put this newer operating system, even though the hardware can technically use it, they obviously don't want their machines to be unusably slow. Or do they? I don't know, but it makes sense that they don't push these newer updates to older hardware, because the older hardware will slow down. It'll give the consumer, the end user, just a bad time, a bad experience. And Apple doesn't want that. They do and they don't, right? They want a bad enough experience where you go out and buy a new piece of hardware, but, there's a middle ground they have to meet, obviously, which I understand, I get it. With that said, this computer is a perfectly working computer. It's nuts. Why buy a Chromebook when you have this thing? Because you don't want to own a MacBook. I get it, I understand. YouTube videos run perfectly fine at 1080. The speakers still work in this thing. All the repair jobs I do can be done by yourself because it's so modular. Now, for those of you that don't know about Framework, Framework is a company that makes laptops, but they work, and that's all that matters. So all the basic functionalities of a computer right here. It might be a little slow, might run a little hot, but you have a nice computer. I'm satisfied with this. I think this was great. It was a good opportunity, a good experiment. It worked out. And shout out again to OpenCore Legacy Patcher. If you guys have an older Mac and you want to rescue it, you know, it's right there. Do it. Do it. SSD and a new operating system if you need it. If not, whatever. What do I do with this MacBook now? Well, I'm gonna give it away to one of you guys. And I specifically waited till the end of the video to tell you that because I didn't want comments at the beginning of the video that only watched the beginning because this video is a little boring, which I understand, but it's meant to be educational. And this is why I don't make educational videos, because they're boring as shit. And I probably wouldn't watch this video unless I wanted to upgrade my old MacBook to a newer operating system. So if you want this, just leave a comment below. You can comment anything. We will draw a winner in the Discord. Discord.gg/SalemTechSperts. Just keep a lookout for the giveaway. One of you guys will enjoy this. It does need a battery though. It will come with this wallpaper. It will not come with Hugo. That's my accessory. Mine.